So in a couple of days, it's going to be my 4-year anniversary of being full-time software dev. Recently, I've actually gotten Claude Code, and I think it's making me a much better senior dev. So basically, what I'm forced to do is simplify. Is that how you spell simplify? I don't even know. But I know AI is like overhyped. I mean, I think AI is overhyped, but putting it in a real code base, it sucks real bad. It just gets confused about what to do and where to do it. So if I can come in and tell it exactly where to do things, it really helps. So break down tasks. So my point being, if I can simplify things, then it actually makes me a really good senior dev and is helping me improve as a developer, because even though I don't have juniors like mentor, I'm kind of thinking about Claude and like Sonnet 4 or like Opus 4. I'm not sure what it uses under the hood. Pretty sure it's Opus 4, but I'm using that as my junior dev. So anytime I want to give it a task, I'll kind of outline the goal, what code changes to make, like the plan. Once it's come up with the plan, I'll give it, because I know I've been at this workplace for just over 5 months now, so I know the code base fairly well now. So I can tell it exactly which files to change. And this only really comes with time of knowing a code base. So I actually got it on Friday, and I spent the weekend building a bunch of like tiny tools, tiny CLI tools. I mean, I use Vim, and it's kind of like my struggle with using these AI kind of editors, because I've tried Cursor. Obviously, you can add in Vim mode, but it's just not the same as just straight near Vim. So this using Claude Code, when it's not working, keeps me in the terminal, which is also really great. Like I know the interface pretty well. I know tmux. I know what I'm doing. So I basically use Claude Code as my junior. And I break down the tickets. Well, I'm not just giving it, because we have a pretty small team and we're pretty autonomous, I guess. Like we kind of just have general implementation. We don't have exact implementations. We're just basically a team of seniors. So we kind of just get the work and we have to just figure out ourselves. I mean, we talk amongst ourselves to figure out what we need to do. But then what I can do is, rather than actually writing the code myself, what I've started to do is give it to Claude. Obviously talk to it, figure it out, see if it actually understands, and then let it run. It's actually forced me to have like smaller commits, because with Claude Code you can't really, with Cursor you can actually see the diff and then you can accept and reject some things. With Claude that doesn't really exist, so you have to accept everything. And what this means is you really have to force to use Git to version control. And what this has made me do is, like I said, smaller commits, because I can just let it run and I'm not worried if I need to roll back a commit. I've done that a bunch of times. Well, not roll back a commit, but like just throw away all the changes, which is fine. Like it's Claude, it's not really going to care. You can just tell it to try again, give it more context. Something killer that I actually do at the end. So obviously you do a bunch of back and forth, you kind of figure some things out. You don't like the implementation, you tell it, okay, do this instead. You do all of that, but then at the end, once you have what you actually need, you can ask it what you could have told it at the start to get to this sooner, or basically straight away. And then what this kind of will I mean, prompt engineering, I hate that it's a thing, but it really is a thing. Like if you can nail everything in the prompts, then it actually really helps. So with this kind of thing that I've started to do, it really helps figuring out what I missed at the start. And for next time, I kind of know, okay, I really need to nail it down. So for me, one of the things I really needed to nail was file names. Um, it just kind of helps. I mean, Claude is really, really good at finding the file names. But if I know the file names and I can give it to it, I can kind of skip a bunch of tool calls and I'm just kind of getting there faster. Um, if I can give it variable names, that also really helps. I mean, it's a really big code base. I think we're at 500,000 lines of code. There's a lot of code in there. Not all of it is used either, which is another thing. Like you need to really, really lock down Claude. So I also, since it's a monorepo, I go into the packages that I'm working on, or the apps, I guess. We call them packages, but essentially the cd into app directories. And then what this helps is it kind of reduces the context that Claude has to go through, so it kind of simplifies things in the end. So that's kind of like what I've been doing, and it's working out fairly well. Like today, at the end of the day, we had to add a feature flag for something, so I knew where the change had to go. I knew what the code looked like, what files it was, what I wanted the variable to be named, and I basically gave that to Claude. Okay, do this in this place, in this file, call it this, and it literally just did it. And then while it was doing it, I actually went to post.log, created the feature flag, created the variants. So by the time I came back, it actually had everything working, and the naming was exactly what I needed it to be. I didn't give it the actual variant names, but it had the right variant names as well. So that's another thing. It kind of, in about half an hour, I had the thing implemented and tested, which is great. And yeah, that's kind of how I'm using it, and it's working quite well.